And I'm Paris. And we're talking about body confidence. So today we're gonna be talking about confident women. Are you a confident woman, Mom?
You can say that again.
What are you doing? Lassoing your confidence?
Yeah.
Bringing it to you.
Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. I am a confident, because you know what? I believe that's all you need in this world. If you have confidence, it can get you to places you never thought you can get.
Have you never been somewhere and you've seen someone do something real stupid and you're like, how are they doing it? But they have so much confidence. They don't care. Confidence will take you anywhere.
It's very true. And you know what? Now that I'm glad that you brought this up, because you know what? A lot of youth people, your age, people, young adult, in teenagers. Yeah. I have a daughter who is a teenager now. Your sister, Maxine,
yeah, she's 14.
They're really having self-esteem problems.
Issues.
They have low self-esteem, most of them, and others have got too much. Yeah,
share it.
You know what I mean. And this is something that a lot of people, both boys, girls, men, and women, are struggling.
Yeah.
With. Have you? Now I have a question for you. Have you ever suffered that?
No, I've been confident out the womb. No, of course. I feel like everyone wants to be older because it's perceived that older people seem more confident and self-assured. And yes, they are. And I think part of that comes with experience and just living like life, that you just know yourself, you know what you like, you know what you don't like, etc. And so then you are. But it's hard to get there. And like as a younger person, especially when you're a teenager and you're changing like so much from when you're 12 to like 18, like you change so much. And then even now when you're a young adult in your 20s, you're changing so much. I feel like mentally too, like you're going through so much. So for sure I definitely like had like self-esteem issues. You know, it was just like hard, and a lot of it came from like feeling like, oh, I wasn't like dressing as nice, being not as like well off, and it was like, oh my god, they're wearing like such cute clothes and like I'm just wearing this, and I'd feel like I'm not good enough because I'm not dressed as well, or my clothes are like thrifted, things like that. So it was less so my like personality. Like I felt like I was a decent person, and I had a nice personality and I got along with people, but it was more so I felt like judged for like my outward appearance of what I was wearing, how my hair was done, you know. Even, and what's weird is I went to a school where you wore a uniform in high school, but still somehow you feel like she's wearing her uniform better. It's like, but how? They were all wearing the same clothes, and even then, so it'd be like, oh, her hair looks like nice, like, oh, look at that like weave she's wearing, like, wow, I can't believe, you know. Things like that. So it was definitely hard. And then also moving, I didn't have a lot of friends, and I would feel like jealous, and I'd be like, how do I like make these friends? And people like wouldn't talk to me so much because I really had to push myself to be out there, and if I wasn't pushing, no one was coming to me, and I just felt like it's so much work, and I just feel like, did no one like me enough to just come talk to me? I always have to go talk to them. But once I did, like people would see, oh, you know, she's nice, or like she's interesting, da da da, and then I would make friends with people who had similar interests. But it's really hard, like, to do what I just said, to put yourself out there, to give yourself your own inner confidence, to build that confidence.
But I'm glad that you said that, because then you learn at a very young age that you do not need it to come from others, it comes from you. Now, did I suffer? Yeah, like today, I know all of you who knows me, you're like, Paris ever suffered? Slow. How? Please, trust me. First of all, I grew up in Anyuki, in the village. Now, when I'm speaking English, even right now, correct me please, my accent, it's a heavy Kikuyu accent. I say, my kids here, when they were growing up, I would say, go to your room, and they'll be like, Mom, it's not room, it's room. Why you say lube with L? It's room with an R. So now, let me tell you people. So, when I was young, I was really afraid of speaking English in front of people. In fact, I did very poorly. I remember, Mr. Karaoke, if you ever watch this, I remember you telling me, Paris, you're good with everything else. What is wrong with you? because I didn't want to try, because I felt like I never pronounced things like the people who are from town, you know, because I was from village, but high school I didn't go.
You went to a boarding school.
Yeah, I went to a boarding school where you meet with these kids from the city who are speaking fluent English and they're pronouncing words you never thought you could pronounce.
Like
and
kombucha.
So and I decided I'm not gonna be speaking, I'm gonna be just be quiet. But can you imagine me? I'm not a quiet person. So I decided I'll only speak when necessary, but because I don't want people to laugh at me, and you know. But here's the funny thing. I was one of those girls who were picked on. First of all, I was tiny, then I was really light-skinned. For whatever reason, in every class I went, I was the light-skinned girl. And because I was the light-skinned girl, and I had nice hair, curly hair, those days we called it, I had beautiful hair, and my mom had put laser curls on it. So now, boys would always pull on my head, you know, and I would really feel so bad because I wasn't a quiet person, but like I said, when you have low self-esteem,
it makes you
it does make you become timid, and you sort of retrieve back a little bit. You know what I mean? Now I cared so much about that, and then I cared about, like you said, when we're young, if anybody have ever read my book, I've said this, a time my dad had money and everything and we lost everything, and so now people would talk behind you, you know. That thing got me really down, and I started thinking, oh my god, now how do I get out of this? Nobody loves me for me, and I started looking for love in the wrong places. I'm so glad that I never got in trouble, because what I started doing is, any girl that would, you know, in fact most of the time my friends were older friends. Because I felt, whether be men or be women, I felt like older were better because they were not then picking on me. I felt like they loved me just because they understood me. They were not talking behind my back. Then can you imagine, I'm a short person, I'm only 5'2". I know you'll be shocked. You always see me with heels, and some people think I'm very tall. I'm only 5'2", and I was feeling like again I'm too short. And I was like, oh my god,
you're with the older kids now.
Yeah, I'm like, now look, I'm the shortest in this group. All these things made me feel like you know, like I don't belong. And for the longest I suffered with it, and until now, when I was a young adult after school and I went to UK and everything, and started mingling with everybody, and of course met your dad, who is dark, tall and handsome, and I was like, oh, and every boy that was attracted to me even before then was tall, you know. I was like, so there's something about tall guys liking short women. It's like opposite always.
So you're like, wow, so being short is good.
I was like, oh. And then there was my eyes. I have big eyes, so I used to always feel like people are always looking at my, so I even lied one time to my dad that we were all told to go back to school with spectacles. He was like, I've never had that. He called teacher and I was in trouble. Anyway, just because I was trying to cover my eyes because I thought they were too big. Then now, when I was a young adult, people started saying, oh, you have nice eyes.
They're beautiful eyes.
I love your
beautiful
eyes.
Big brown eyes.
Come on now. These eyes, I've been trying to cover them up, and you mean? So anyway, having said this, I know there's a lot of young girls and a lot of women who are doing things that they don't have to, just so they can appeal to the eye of others. Me, with age now, I'm 46 now, I have learned this, almost 47, right? So and I have learned this. You're gonna love yourself beyond loving yourself, to a point that you don't care about what other people think. If you're happy with how you look, to hell with whoever think that's not it, you know. Even like today, look, I decided I didn't care to style hair, so I just decided I'm gonna tie these. And Sandra was like, Mom, now
you look like a pirate.
Like you're going to bed. I was like, that's how I feel. Like, this is my look today. I just feel like this is me today. And when you get to that level where you do what makes you happy, and it's not what, it's always good to care about what others think when it comes to, am I being mean to them? Am I doing the right thing for them? But not when it comes to how I look, how I do things, how I parent my children, how, you know, how my husband and I relationship is. That is nobody else's business. It is your business. You know what I mean? But people will always, Sandra, try to come to your business, right? Oh, how you're raising a child, that's not the right way. Says who?
Right? There's many ways to do many things. You
know what I mean? How you address, like somebody will just see me how I'm dressed now and they will have a problem with that.
How could you be a mom and dress like that?
Now, maybe you don't like dressing like this, but it makes me happy, you know. And maybe the way you dress also, I don't care for it, but it makes you happy. Honestly, it is you who allow people to make you think that what they think it's important. Really, most of the time, the things that you're thinking in your head, like now, you might be thinking, oh, the car I drive, everybody notices a banger. You're the only one noticing. People don't care.
No
or you
cares.
might be thinking, I'm driving Range Rover, the new one in town, and now everybody can notice it. Maybe nobody is noticing. It's in your head. How you dress, sometimes you think, oh my God, I can't go like this. This outfit is the one I was wearing last week. What are they gonna say? Nobody even remember what
don't
you are wearing.
Don't you do laundry?
You know what I mean? Nobody. But most of the time we build these things in our head. We think that, oh, they care about how I look, they care what I do, they care. But most of the time, most people don't even care. You know, you're trying to impress people who don't want to be impressed anyway. So live your life. And how about you? What do you think?
So, you know, when you were saying like in school that you never wanted to speak English. So what's so funny is when I was in school in Kenya and I was going to boarding school, I had the same issue, except I didn't want to speak because I felt like, oh, my English is so good because I grew up in the States, I was born in the UK, that like I felt like people didn't want to talk to me because they felt like I was somehow being like bougie. Which was such a change from being in the States and having people be like, oh, you're wearing that sweater, where's that sweater from? It's not like a brand name. To then now being in Kenya and having people think, oh, her English is so good. She thinks she's so much better than everybody. And then I was also in like a grade above, so I was with kids who were older than me by like a year to 2 years. So on top of already being younger, right? Then also having like an American accent, no one wanted to be my friend. And then it's hard to make friends with 14-year-olds when you're 12, right? Because they're like, oh wow, you're like so lame. And I had to like get over like, how could I not talk? How am I gonna make friends if I don't talk to people? So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna, at 12, you know, just try and like do me and just like be okay with it. And eventually like people got over it almost. Like they're like, oh, she's not stuck up just because she speaks English well. She's just a normal kid doing normal school things. And then people would open up to me and start talking. And it's not because I pursued them so heavily to be my friend. It was because I just like had to accept me and be myself, and then I started making friends. And then now, fast forward to now, how you're saying like people judging you for how you're parenting or how you look and stuff. I feel like as a young mom, I feel like a lot of like kind of people being like, oh, you're a young mom, so you don't know what you're doing. Oh, of course you're a young mom, you dress like that. When you're older, like you're not gonna be like that. And you know, and like I post my kid on social media sometimes, and like people like judge it and will be like, or at least I feel like they're like, oh wow, I can't believe she's posting her kid here, their face, she's exposing them to the internet or something like that. Or it's like she doesn't know what she's doing because she's only 23, like she hasn't lived enough life. And it's like, maybe I'm not older and have more life experience, but it's still my kid and I can still parent them and do a good job. Like that doesn't affect that. And it's hard to like let go of what other people will think and just be like, this is what I'm doing. Accept it. I'm not setting my kid on fire, so you have no reason to be mad.
And plus that, I find that people normally judge according to, again, to their lenses. Now,
what they see.
What they see now, and what they don't want to see, and what they think their family should be like. You know, it's like almost like they try to put their family value to every family now. If you're online, my dear, just know this. You're gonna be meeting so many families that the values are totally different. There's some family where posting photos with bikinis when they go on holiday, it's normal. The Kardashian family would do that and it's normal for them. And then there's another family, it's true, there's another family, they cover up. Even if they're on holiday, they will never post a photo, not unless they are fully dressed, and that's okay. But you have to learn to respect others, you know,
what they do,
and their values, and yourself. You have to learn to accept my life, it's what it is, so I don't have to worry about what other people think all the time. Because trust me, if you do that, you'd have to just go in a cocoon and build yourself in there and stay there, because out here we're gonna be judged whether we do what people want or not. So at the end of the day, live your life and do it to the best you know how.
Very true. If you just, honestly, takeaways, if you just are happy with what you're doing and happy with yourself, you won't even be thinking about what other people are thinking, because you're okay with you, right?
Exactly.
If, you know, if you're confident in the outfit you're wearing, you feel nice, you're not gonna be thinking, oh, what did that guy across the street think of my outfit? You're just gonna be dressed and feel like good about yourself, and that's all that matters.
Or your body shape, for that matter, because we are a different body shape. Like, to me, here's my take home on this. So long as you are healthy and you are happy, how you look, we all look differently. There will be somebody who's skinny, tall, somebody who's curvy, somebody who's long hair, who's light skin, who's dark, who is what. But at the end of the day, don't be looking at Paris and say, I want to look like Paris. No.
Sometimes even Paris doesn't look like Paris.
Then sometimes I don't even want to look like Paris. Maybe I'm also looking at Sanda and saying I want to look like Sanda, and that's wrong. I should be Paris and accept Paris because this is me. I cannot be somebody else. I can only be the best me. Yes. Once you do that, you will then realize that you start attracting people because now you are already in love with you. You are confident. You know who you are. You're not waiting for anybody to validate you. And in doing so, let me tell you, girlfriend, people are just attracted to you like a magnet.
Yeah, that's very true.
It is what it is.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Do what you gotta do on whatever platform you're on. You know what's up, alright? And don't forget to follow us on our socials. On Instagram and Facebook, I'm Sanex Styles, and Mom?
Paris Boudia everything. From our family to your family.
Thanks so much for watching Model Mothers. We'll see you next episode. Bye!